What if I told you there was a delicious way to reduce your carbon footprint by 73%, improve your health, increase your life expectancy, and help prevent 150 million animals from being killed every day? Would you make that small change? We as individuals have a tremendous amount of power in our hands to make a positive difference to our planet, our health, and animals. And this fuels my passion to share the research that I've done over the last 15 years, transitioning to a mostly plant-based diet with my family. Many of the things I discovered, I was astonished with. Most of us love the taste, smell, and social experience of eating meat, cheese, fish, and eggs. We are creatures of habit, and eating is an emotional adventure we go on several times a day. And food also connects us to our families. It is tied to some of the most beautiful memories, and meat is often center stage of the food we love and know. I ate meat until I was 28 years old. So why am I encouraging you to make plants the hero on your plate? When I considered going vegetarian, I dreaded the idea of replacing tasty meat with bland salads. I was, however, pleasantly surprised and found that I could still enjoy delicious plant-based alternatives to the foods that we love and know. For example, plant-based beef, chicken, bacon, burgers, sausages, milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream, and even eggs. Every year, these alternatives that feel close to home are becoming tastier, more available, and more affordable. In addition to the meat alternatives, there are countless delicious plant-based recipes. Here are a few that we eat at home. Poke bowls and potato salads, gnocchi bakes and jackfruit tagine, sausage rolls, fajita bowls, mushroom bolognese with smoked tofu, yummy, mushrooms with chickpeas and kale, vegan meatball platters, eggplant bakes, sushi, pad thai, banana bread muffins, healthy date bars, chocolate banana bread, sponge cakes with strawberries, to name just a few. We do not have to give up on great food. The three main reasons that most people eat less animal products are: number one, their health; number two, the environment; and number three, animal welfare. There are seldom health debates around quitting smoking, drinking, and drugs, but reducing meat requires a much deeper conversation. So let's get started. If we are not eating according to our physiology, we are more likely to get sick. So we need to ask the question, are we herbivores designed to eat at least 97% plants, or are we omnivores designed to eat both? We certainly behave like omnivores, and the oldest known mummies were found with meat in their stomachs, but they also had advanced heart disease, which is our number one killer. Heart disease in zoos was the leading cause of death in gorillas. When researchers from the Western Reserve University changed their diet and started feeding them about 10 pounds of veggies a day, they lost 65 pounds and reversed the heart problems. From the research I've done, it's clear that we are in fact herbivores. Our digestive systems resemble that of apes, who very rarely consume meat. These are the key points that stood out to me as important in my research. Carnivores' intestines are 3 times their body length. Herbivores and humans about 9 times our body length. Meat becomes toxic quickly and it needs to be expelled fast. Herbivores, like humans, have to consume or eat their vitamin C. Most carnivores and omnivores make their own vitamin C. Carnivores have canines that protrude and are sharp for tearing meat. Our canines don't protrude and look more like the flat teeth of a horse. Herbivore jaws move from side to side. Carnivores and omnivores don't. Carnivores have hinge joints, allowing a wide opening, unlike herbivores. Carnivores swallow their food whole. Herbivores chew and start the digestive process in the mouth with saliva that contains digestive enzymes. Carnivores have much larger stomachs, allowing them to gorge once a week on meat. Herbivores, like us, have much smaller stomachs. The pH of a carnivore's stomach is much more acidic, which is necessary to kill bacteria in decaying flesh. We don't have that. Carnivores and omnivores drink by lapping, herbivores by sipping. Carnivores cool themselves by panting. We cool by sweating. Blocked arteries or atherosclerosis affects only herbivores. Dogs, cats, and lions can eat saturated fats and foods high in cholesterol, and plaque does not develop in their arteries. Cholesterol is only found in animal products. So this brings me onto my research regarding disease. Tell me, do you know anyone who has died from protein deficiency? Probably not, right? What about a heart attack, cancer, or a stroke? I know of several people close to me. Study after study shows that the more animal products we consume, the more likely we are to fall sick and even die from our top 15 killers. Dr. Michael Greger, who I follow very closely, summarizes his research from the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, as follows. Heart disease, our #1 killer. Most heart attack patients fall within the recommended levels for cholesterol. Therefore, current dietary guidelines are just not low enough to cut heart attack risk. For cholesterol to cease, it appears that we have to get our cholesterol down to 150, to that of the average pure vegetarian. But few persons are willing to abide by the vegetarian lifestyle. So lipid-lowering drugs are required in most to reach the 150 level. A normal cholesterol level in a society where it's normal to drop dead of a heart attack, not ideal. So it's our choice, drugs or diet. Finland, after the Second World War, had the highest rates of mortality from heart disease. So they converted dairy farms into berry farms. They saw an 80% drop in cardiac mortality, an 80% drop. Cancer, our #2 killer. The largest study on diet and cancer ever done showed the incidence in all cancers combined was lower in vegetarian compared to meat eaters. The link between meat and cancer is so evident that even the Journal of Meat Science asked, should we become vegetarian or can we make meat safer? They fear that if these recommendations were adhered to, cancer incidences may be reduced, but farmers and meat industry would suffer important economical problems. So, what happens if we put cancer on a vegan diet? This experiment has been done. They dripped vegan blood on cancer cells growing on a petri dish. The blood of those on a vegan diet was 8 times better at suppressing cancer cell growth. So not only heart disease and cancer, but on a plant-based diet, you have less chance of dying from our top 15 killers. That's lung disease, strokes, Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidney failure, influenza, septicemia, liver disease, high blood pressure, and Parkinson's. Meat eaters have twice the odds of being on aspirin, sleeping pills, tranquilizers, pain meds, blood pressure pills, laxatives, and insulin. So a plant-based diet is great for people who don't like taking pills. Fewer cataracts, the leading cause of blindness. Weight loss, the only diet and food group on average that falls into a healthy BMI or body mass index are those on a plant-based diet. With obesity so prevalent in our society and the weight loss $192 billion industry, this is a leap in the right direction. It's proven, as you can see in this graph, that the more animal products you eat, the more overweight you're likely to be. I know from personal experience, because at the age of 21, as seen in the picture to the left, I was 10 kgs heavier than I am now, aged 46. Energy. My husband did an experiment going vegetarian on and off every month for a year. His energy levels were much higher the months he was vegetarian because plant-based foods digest much quicker. It takes a huge amount of energy to digest animal foods, not to mention the congestion they cause in your digestive system. Cheese. How much do we love cheese? I hate to break this to you, but cheese is addictive. Dairy protein has opiate molecules built in, and when consumed, these fragments attach to the same brain receptors that heroin and other narcotics attach to. So if you are struggling to give up your cheese, just give it 21 days. Lactose. 65% of the world is lactose intolerant and suffer tremendously from digestive issues. We are not designed to drink milk as adults, and many suffer especially with skin problems, asthma, coughing, and nasal congestion. An alternative is plant-based milks and cheeses. They are full of goodness. Soya, almond, coconut, oat milks, and cheeses made from potato and corn, coconut oil, olive extract, paprika, carotene, and vitamin B12. These are delicious ingredients, and they are good for you. Normal cheese is made from milk mixed with rennet, which is the inside scraping of a calf or lamb's stomach, bacteria, and salt. So the bacteria defecates, and this becomes the solid cheese. So in essence, and sadly, cheese is a block of bacteria poop. If you're okay eating poop, that's fine. I do very rarely, but with full awareness. Eggs. The American Egg Board, a promotional marketing board appointed by the US government, can't legally claim eggs are any of these in their advertising. Nutritious, low in fat, part of a balanced diet, low calorie, healthful, healthy, good for you, or even safe. And this is due to the high cholesterol in eggs. Manliness. Men on a plant-based diet have a higher level of testosterone, healthier libidos, and a lower risk of erectile dysfunction. If you haven't watched The Game Changers, I suggest you do, because they study 3 college athletes and their erections during the night, a natural function that happens when men sleep. The device measured the firmness, the length, and how often they occurred. In every instance, the results favored the plant-based dinner and showed up to 477% increase. Strong men. The gladiators, surprisingly enough, were vegetarian. Meat does not equal muscle. It's sadly more likely to equal overweight and heart disease. One of the strongest men in the world, holding a Guinness World Record, is Patrick Baboumian, a vegan. We do not need animal protein to be strong, he says. Have you ever seen a buffalo eat meat? The scent of a man. Who doesn't love a man who smells good? Studies show vegan men have a more attractive scent to women. Women rated the body odors of men to be more pleasant, more sexy, and less intense after giving up meat for just 2 weeks. They blindfolded candidates during the experiment. Are you worried about your children being short and not growing tall on a plant-based diet? Don't forget the tallest animals on earth are beautiful giraffes. A study done on 1,765 children showed that on average, Adventist vegetarian children were taller than their meat-consuming classmates, 2.5 centimeters for boys and 2 centimeters for girls. Starving people. 690 million people are malnourished in the world, and we could eradicate hunger because more than 50% of all food grown on the planet is fed to farm animals, and only a small percentage of that is converted into something we can eat. Protein. A plant-based burger can often have more protein than a beef burger. The Beyond Burger, which is 100% plant-based, has 20 grams of protein versus a meat burger at 19 grams. The longest living humans on planet Earth are found in blue zones. Each of these 5 populations follows a plant-based diet with 95 to 98% of their daily calories coming from whole plant foods. A herbivore is classified as obtaining at least 97% of its calories from plants. So we could consume meat once a week, and we could safely fall into this category. The positive impact on the environment, our health, and the animals would be immense. So let's move on to our love of animals. Speciesism is the discrimination in favor of one species, usually the human species, over others, especially in the exploitation or mistreatment of animals by humans. A shirt that comes to mind is, "Dog lovers don't eat dogs, and animal lovers don't eat animals." One has to ask, is there really a difference between a dog, cat, cow, pig, or horse? Over 153 million farmed animals are slaughtered unnecessarily every day. Animals experience the same fear as us. All animals want to live. 150 to 200 species of plant, insect, bird, and mammal life become extinct every single day. We are down to 4% of our natural wildlife because farm animals and humans are now 96% of all species on Earth. Male chicks are electrocuted, gassed, or minced at birth as they do not lay eggs. We are the highest intelligence on Earth, with dominion over the animal kingdom to take care of it, but we destroy it. 50% of people would rather go vegetarian than kill their own dinner. A prank in a supermarket clearly showed people's true emotion when they were led to believe a pig was being minced on the spot to give them fresh pork sausages that they had ordered, and they were outraged. When we handle plant-based food, something inside of us smiles. When we handle meat, it's often so repulsive that wearing it on the outside of us, like Lady Gaga did at the MTV Video Music Awards, would cause unrest. But when we ingest it, we think it's normal. We consume blood in meat all the time. So why, on a movie like Fear Factor, would it be so grotesque to dip your head into the same substance? If you take a dog or a bear into an abattoir, it would lick its lips because they are carnivores and omnivores designed to eat meat. But as humans, something inside of us feels discomfort when we see blood and slaughter. Some people believe free-range chickens are okay to eat. Thousands of chickens walking in their own feces crammed into large feeding pens for their whole life, never to touch grass or see the sky. They are fed growth hormones and antibiotics, which are passed on to those that consume them. That's us and our children. Our bodies also ingest the adrenaline or cortisol that is fiercely racing through their veins at the time of each slaughter. Aren't we anxious enough? Some of us believe it's morally okay to eat animals, even for religious beliefs, that the animals surrender to us. I found through my research about a term called thanatosis, or tonic immobility, that when an animal plays dead in times of danger, animals will often fall into a trance-like state to avoid danger from predators. And this happens throughout the animal kingdom. If you're a follower of the commandments, thou shalt not kill. This is very much in line with the teachings of love and non-suffering found in most religious texts. The organization PETA, which stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, clearly defines that animals are not ours to eat. They are not ours to wear. They are not ours to experiment on. And they're not ours to use for entertainment, and they're not ours to abuse in any way. If you have a dog or a cat that you love, I encourage you to spread that love further. Documentaries that I suggest you watch: Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy, What the Health, The Game Changers, Milked, Dairy is Scary, warning on that one, and A Life on Our Planet by David Attenborough. So let's move on to the environment, our beautiful planet Earth. Every second, 1.5 acres of rainforest is lost to create more space for animal agriculture and their feed. That's right, I said every second. In North Carolina alone, there are 2,000 pig farms with catchment areas sometimes the size of 4 football fields, collecting urine, blood, and feces. They look like blood lakes from the sky. These are seeping into clean waterways, creating ocean dead zones, places where nothing but algae will grow. Clouds are no longer forming like they used to over deforested areas, which is affecting our weather patterns. Worldwide, livestock accounts for up to 18% of human-induced greenhouse gas emissions. Not only is this industry warming up our planet, it also causes ocean acidification, which makes our oceans uninhabitable to marine life and kills off entire reef ecosystems. What I learned from Netflix movie Seaspiracy is there is no such thing as killing fish sustainably for food, and if fishing trends continue, oceans will be desolate in less than 30 years. 1 acre of land can feed 14 times more people on a plant-based diet than the standard American diet of meat, eggs, and dairy. If we did turn to a plant-based diet, 5 billion football fields of land could be returned to forest land, which is important considering in our lifetime, we've cut down half the trees in the world, and at this rate, we have only about 40 years left before we destroy all the trees. 50% of our natural resources are used for animal agriculture. That's our precious water, our land, energy, our trees, our clean air. We only need 5% of these natural resources to sustain a plant-based diet for all of humanity. 1 cow can drink up to 189 liters of water per day, and it takes 2,000 liters of water or 10 drums to produce 1 beef burger. So if you haven't yet started to collect your rainwater, you could start by substituting your next beef burger for the veggie option. Agriculture consumes more water than any other major global industry, accounting for 70% of global water use. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of loss in biodiversity. We were given an incredible ecosystem in which to live, but we are destroying it every single day by the choices that we make. Livestock takes up nearly 80% of global agricultural land, yet it produces less than 20% of the world's supply of calories. And this is because most of the food grown in the world is fed to these animals, yet millions of people go hungry, like I said. Due to the land shortage, we are squishing into tiny houses and sky-rise buildings. But imagine, we could all live in comfortable houses on a large property surrounded by nature, if only we chose to eat more plants. At home, we're 100% meat-free, alcohol-free, smoke-free, and drug-free. This is our sanctuary. It works well for us, so I started the initiative Ecoshe to help others try the same. Even if for 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month, we support and celebrate our combined effort in a fun and challenging way. This is the dream we have: to build intentional communities, living in a healthy, abundant life in harmony with nature and with each other. My name is Heather Drummond. My research is available on request, and if you have been inspired by what I've shared today, please do join our growing community who celebrate every single step towards wellness and sustainability. Thank you.